All right, and we're live. The counter is ticking up, which means we're almost done with this thing. Hey, everybody, Greco Fabulous here. This is my show. I am the captain now. I can make that reference, even though I've never seen the movie. Which what movie was it again? I know it's Tom Hanks, but you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
All right, good start.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks movies is not the topic of the day, thankfully.
Is it like Captain Phillips, or are you referencing Robin Williams in
Castaway,
like
or
Society?
It's not Castaway. It literally has to do with a boat.
Oh, a real boat.
Yeah, with the pirates, the Somali pirates. No?
Yeah. It's
yeah.
Captain Phillips?
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, I thought that's when he was like the airplane guy. No. That's another.
That's Sully, I think.
Sully.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, Tom Hanks has coronavirus. We do not. We're doing good. Obeying the quarantine laws. So, never thought I'd rather be me than him, but here we are. Anyways, if you are familiar with this Live from the Attic broadcast, you can see some familiar faces. To my internet right, which is my actual left, we got Ed from Ed's Retro Geek Out. Say hello.
Hi everybody.
All right, he gave the double Belgian wave.
Yeah, the waffle wave.
Yeah, waffle wave. And right below us in the Brady Bunch Alice role is Craig, aka Narc.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
We're doing it. We're
Great
doing
to be
it.
Hanging with the Greg.
Oh, we are. All right. Before we start, I just want to throw some praise Ed's way.
I just uploaded a new video, like maybe an hour or two before the live stream. It's about my Toxic Crusaders collection. So y'all go check it out if you're into that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad that I put that up, and then I realized I'm actually not sure which one of you made a Toxic Crusaders video, so I'm glad I didn't mess that one up. Well, we got a hello from Ed.
What's up, Ed?
Hello.
He was in the last one too.
So he was. Yeah, we're getting some repeat customers. We got our buddy Nas.
Here we go. Nostalgic's back.
Nasty Nas. Yeah. That's right. Got a hello from Tony.
What's up, Tony?
And Carlos. So this is our audience right now, it looks like. Yeah, I moved my buddy I don't know where he is. He's been in the last couple shows, and then one day he just amscrayed. So maybe he'll make an appearance, maybe he won't.
That's scary, man.
It is a little bit. Not gonna lie, I did rescue him from somebody's attic. That's the kind of how Attic Invaders is born, at least in my side of the world. But maybe we'll see if it's maybe it'll end up being my downfall. It could be a problem. All right. Anyways, enough chit chat. We wasted 3.5 minutes. We're doing great. So as we like to do with these live shows, we like to start with a kind of discussion topic and then let the conversation organically go from there. Obviously, with a lot of feedback from you guys. So if you have any questions, anything you want us to pop up on the screen there, I will do so. So anyways, I forget who kind of brought up this topic, but as we were doing some pre-show stuff, the question came up: what is the difference? Okay, I'm getting a signal. I think my memory is coming back to me. I think it was Craig.
That is correct.
Came up with
maybe you exposed
question of the day.
The question or the dilemma of the day.
The dilemma, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The paradox that is scalpers versus reselling.
Yes, so exactly. I have to repeat the question so it's official since I'm the host. What is the difference between scalpers and resellers, or resellers and scalpers? Now, I haven't given a lot of thought to this question, even though it was posed about a week ago. So I'm going to go off the cuff here. But I feel like my immediate gut reaction is, I feel like resellers and there's a fine line. I'm trying not to be all high and mighty and on a pedestal. Like, obviously, my collection is funded by reselling. I started off, when I got back into it, I started off just buying bits and pieces here, and then I was like, why don't we just start buying lots, keeping what we need, and selling the rest to kind of recycle the hobby? That's always kind of been my mantra nowadays. Then I teamed up with a buddy, and it's just been working out like gangbusters for us recently, before disease took over. So from that perspective, I still feel it's pretty pure from a collecting standpoint. I'm not just buying to make money, and I'm not making up a story when I'm like meeting up with other sellers. But on the other hand, I do feel a little uneasy about it sometimes because you don't. I've encountered a million different reactions from people, and you almost have to like pussyfoot around it as far as like what your intentions are sometimes. So even though I feel like I'm a good, genuine person, I still feel like there's that stigma there. Now, where I draw the line between that and just pure scalping, that's a little cloudy for me. Scalping would be like if I went out, and I feel like scalping has more to do with new releases, honestly. Where like if I go out, find a hot toy, like clear the shelves of it, and just mark up everything for crazy prices. Now, I will say I've definitely if I've ever encountered kind of a hot release, I have tried to buy an extra one to resell just to get some of my money back again, so I end up with free toys. So that's it. So I know I've done a lot of talking, and I don't want to take everybody's thunder, but Craig, you kind of wanna weigh in because it sounds like you were kind of nodding along and
yeah. So I'm kind of in the same boat with you, but I guess my whole thing is I think in the toy community, a lot of people, and the game community too, a lot of people get the two totally confused. So like, you go in and you buy something and, you say you're going to resell it. People are like, oh, you're a scalper. Well, I don't think necessarily that's the case, because if you sell something on eBay or in a Facebook group for market value, I think that's totally fine. I think the thing, like you said, when a new toy comes out and you go up and you buy up all the exclusives, and then you go to a show and you mark it up like double or triple the price, and even more than eBay, to me, that's what a scalper is. That's what a scalper is, not a reseller. And I think those two things get totally twisted around. So, that's kind of my take on it. And just like you, I buy lots. I keep what I want, then I resell the rest, and it pays for my hobby. To me, that's the smartest thing to do. Like, I don't know how some people can go out and spend bukus of money all the time and just keep everything space-wise, and then money-wise, it's just like, that's good for them, but I don't see how that can be done. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Ed, do you have anything to add to the topic?
Well, yeah, I was kind of hoping to get like some sort of revelation from Nark's perspective on this, since he brought up the subject. But I'm kind of like dividing all the different circumstances in the same divisions, honestly. So a scalper to me is somebody who's taking advantage of the shortage of something, and then just buying a ton, creating the shortage, or knowing that the shortage is going to be there. And I suck at saying shortage, apparently. But yeah. So he's taking advantage of that. He's not
before the show.
What do you mean?
You got to do some like tongue twisters before the show to get your
could have done that.
Sharpen that tongue of yours.
So yeah, I think like a scalper is definitely when something is sold out, or when there's a limited run release of something, everybody's out to get it. They're gonna like they will put it up for way more than what the retail goes for. Now, I think vintage wise, for what we're looking for, a reseller can do kind of the same thing. So a reseller is basically somebody that realizes this stuff is rare or it's wanted. Anytime you're selling it's question and it's demand and what is the other thing?
Supply
and demand. Mm-hmm. It's supply and demand, and they're taking advantage of it to make the most profit out of it because it's just a way for them to make profit. Now, the thing to fund a toy room or a game room like this that we all have, whether you like it or not, when you find a deal at a when you find a deal at a flea market or a garage sale, and it's like, take everything, there's going to be doubles in there. So you are reselling at that point. It just depends on, like how honest are you about it? Maybe honest is not the correct term or word, but how, compassionate are you with other collectors? You take in some stuff and you realize, hey, I already have this game, and since I bought it, it's gone up in price. So yeah, I think there's just going to be awful people everywhere. Sometimes it will have to do with what some guy paid for it, and he's just trying to get that money back. Why did you look at
me when you said awful people? Did anybody else catch that? He totally just looked over at me.
I was actually looking at Skeletor.
Okay, I'm gonna review the footage later. We'll see.
No, I mean, you're not awful people. You're like the
awful people.
Awful people. Which is that this way?
This way. Yeah, come here. Okay. Me.
Yeah, there. Here we go. No, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, for me, a scalper, he's taking advantage of a shortage and just putting his asking price way above what anybody is willing to pay for it. But because nobody has access to it, he's going to get that price. A reseller, he has stuff other people want, and it's his property, so he can ask whatever he wants for that.
So do you think it's scummy if, like you said, you have a double and you look on eBay and you post it for what it's going for retail? Do you consider that scummy in your opinion?
No, I don't know. I mean, there's for me, it works in different layers. It's like if I when I bought Gargoyle's Quest 2 for the NES again, it was mainly to make money back on what I had paid for all the other stuff. Now I decided to throw that into a giveaway, but the game goes for about $80 to $100, and I would have probably put that up on my table at $80 and would have settled for $75, even though I only paid $50 for it. Right. I'm just trying to make a little money back on the bigger lot that I went for that I actually wanted. But I realized that, this game is worth a lot more. I could actually flip this and make a little bit of money on it. And to me, that's what it comes down to. You invest so much time as a collector, because you're going to have, resellers that have collections and that are doing it to have a collection. And then you're also going to have scalper kind of resellers that don't care about it. They'll just, be able to price the Marios way out of their league, but they won't realize when they have, like a Power Blade 2 that's worth $400, something like that. So I think whenever I kind of lost my train of thought here.
All right, luckily.
So I think whenever you actually have that knowledge and you're able to use it to your advantage in order to let your collection grow, and by doing that, maybe help out some other collectors because, you source the stuff, you're able to make a little bit of profit on that. And, it depends on how well you've become friends with them, really, honestly. If one of my buddies, Renzo or Matthias, needed that Gargoyle's Quest 2, he would have gotten it for what I paid for it, If somebody I know is in the toy community or in the game hunting community, I would have given it to him for a better price. But if some stranger comes up to me at a game show and he's like, how much are you asking for it? I'm not going to ask above eBay or eBay. I'm just going to ask a little bit underneath to make sure that my stock flips fast, instead of, having that one game everybody's looking at and it's like, yeah, but he's asking $200 for it. It's never going to sell.
Yeah, for me, I feel like it's really hard for me to envision, like, again, when I think scalping, I really think new product. Like, I don't like, as far as like old stuff, like everyone has their own philosophy. Like, obviously there's a going rate, there's eBay prices, you have something to kind of base the market on. Like some people have mentioned in the comments before, like Naz here, pretty much scalping is when you kind of buy out a brand new product to kind of, how did he put it up? Kind of creates a false rarity. Like that's kind of like the intent of clearing out the shelves. Like I've seen people in my area buy out, clean out a whole Target shelf of something, like Ed here, kind of Ed number 2, kind of reference here. Somebody's clearing out a whole retail store shelf to kind of create that local disparity, so they can kind of jack it up there. So I don't see, like, asking a higher price maybe for normal on a vintage item. I don't really count that as scalping.
Yeah.
But again, I want to play devil's advocate here for a second. Like how much of ownership should some of these manufacturers take in releasing product that is not widely available or in limited quantity to kind of create this hype and inflated secondary market? And then secondly, I guess, how much power do you think the buyer actually has in kind of cutting off these scalpers at the knees by not paying these asking prices that they might have? So I'm assuming, like, if less and less people were willing to pay those scalped asking prices, that it would be less worthwhile for people to keep doing these kind of practices. So I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on either of those two.
Yeah, I think there's one more player into this too, and that's the stores themselves, like putting limits on stuff. So if you get, like, let's say it's Force Friday and you have all these exclusives coming in or whatever, like the stores really should put, like, 1 per or 2 per. I think that would help out a lot. And that goes with like Funko Pops too, because they have like big days releases and stuff like that. I think the stores are kind of at fault with this, honestly.
Yeah, totally. I think like what Empire Toys brought up, like if you buy 2 new high-end demand toys and sell 1 through an auction, yeah, I wouldn't count that as a scalper, because
no, not at all.
Like obviously, like for toy collectors, it's always been, when something new comes out and you like it, buy 3 of them. 1 you can open up, 1 you can hold, and 1 you keep for a couple of years that you then resell and make your money back on.
Right.
It's always been a thing within the toy collecting community to buy 3 of each, So it's weird. It's got so many nuances, this whole reselling thing, I guess.
Yeah, and again, I don't think, and people's tastes change obviously over time. So like, if you buy something with the original intent of keeping it for yourself, or multiples of something, 1 for play, 1 for display, whatever rhyme you want to throw in there, obviously your tastes and your circumstances are going to change over time. So you kind of have to put the asterisks on that too, where you don't have to be buried with this stuff. You can one day you can look at your DTOF behind you, or next to you, Craig, and be like, man, this doesn't spark joy for me anymore.
Yeah, and it happens quite a bit actually as a collector.
So it's again, and I guess that's why this is kind of like a highly debated topic, because there are so many shades of gray. I would say at least 50 by my count.
Spicy.
Is that your toy room, Mr. Gray?
Yes. So yeah, and that's why it's a good topic, because there's a lot to discuss. So one thing I wanted to ask on, and I can answer, and I'll start because it kind of shines a bad light on me personally, is, have you ever done anything in your history of toy buying, toy collecting, that was a little iffy, a little out of character that you might consider a scalper move, or it's something that you weren't so proud about after the fact, or some point down the line? Or am I sitting with two Boy Scouts? So I can start because
Go
I
ahead
said
and
I
start it
would.
off.
Yeah, I'll be the bad guy. So it was actually something pretty recent, and it'll make you happy to know that it kind of blew up in my face. But so I was out. Actually, it started off as a good deed because my buddy Spruce Game Hunting reached out and he was like, "Hey, Walmart just released these like Iron Giant dolls, figures, whatever you want to call them. The for Robbie the Robot, like those kind of like newer figures, electronic, talking, moving, the whole shebang. I don't have any in my area. Walmart exclusive. Can you see if you can track one down for me?" And it just so happened that my wife was at Walmart that morning, and I texted her, and she swung by and she found some. So I was like, "Oh, cool! Pick one up for Spruce." And then I got a little curious to see what the demand was, and I saw that like it was selling for like triple the price on eBay at the time. So I ran out there because I know I wanted a Robbie the Robot for myself, but I didn't really care about the other things. And in a very, again, and I'm bringing it up because I want to be transparent. I am the guy. I cleaned out the shelves. I was like, it's $20 a piece, like easy money. I am keeping one. I'm not really staying within my safe zone of buying two, selling one. So total scalper move. But you'll be happy to know that the market totally bottomed out like immediately on those things once they started hitting store shelves. So I did not sell a single one, but I did keep the receipts. So if you're gonna learn anything about this misfortune, as hang on to those receipts, know your the store's return policy. And in hindsight, I did feel a little crummy, even though I did self checkout, so the cashier wouldn't give me a look. Um, with my cart of again Robbie the Robots and Iron Giants. Um, it did give me a little pause, and I've had time to reflect on it. I dabbled in the dark side a little bit, but I've come back. I'm the Greco you know and love. You can trust me. Collecting toy karma. A little bit for me, a lot of it for you. Passing on the savings to fellow collectors. So I'm a jerk, at least temporarily. But how about you guys? Have you ever come close to being persuaded?
I mean, I definitely have. A couple years back, probably 2 or 3 years back, there was a Star Wars Black Series Darth Revan figure came out, and it was like highly sought after. And I picked up two, and I sold one. So done that. I've done it before to trade with other people too to get other stuff that I wanted. So I don't know if that's considered like the same thing because you're still talking about the market price, but yeah, definitely. I've definitely done it.
Yeah, not not on the level of like what I did. But how about you, Ed?
Carlos, he commented greedy fabulous. That's awesome.
That deserves. There we go. Let's put that on display.
And just to, like, I don't want to like mess up your last name, but Ed Udy, he said like big box stores just want to make money. Why should they put a limit on an action figure? Well, that's kind of like the problem, They allow it, over here in Belgium, it's actually quite hard to get something like that. The only time it ever happened was with the NES and the SNES Mini, really. The NES Mini was terrible over here. Trying to get that thing, I had mine pre-ordered, and it came in like 4 weeks late, so you could like already see people trying to get this thing, and just the price went up to like 200 euros. It's like maybe $230 for one. So that was insane. Over here, there's like not too many new stuff coming out. There's no NECAs. There's nothing like that over here. So I don't get the opportunity to like scalp. honestly. And like with the new stuff, I'm not into that, so it's not something I would like to do. But yeah, definitely in the last couple of years, most of my collection is funded by what I make playing music. And lately I've been selling a lot more over at conventions because I just pick up a lot more stuff over at thrift stores, over at flea markets, because I already have most stuff and I know it's valuable. So why should I not pick it up if it's out there for, $2 and I can, trade it with somebody who wants it, or, sell it for a decent price. So if I'm guilty of one thing, it's for, picking up deals and, that to my advantage to fund and complete my collection, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like just based on the feedback from our live audience, which is the best audience.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have some sound effects like, yay! I think that's the consensus here. Like everyone's totally fine with buying an extra one to either hook up a buddy like you said, or use it for trade or selling fodder, just to lessen the impact that it's taking out of your own wallet. Like Sprooch specifically mentioned, if it wasn't for reselling, I wouldn't even have a quarter of his collection. So any work, me and him, obviously we work well together. We're shoulder to shoulder. So we're kind of in the same boat where I wouldn't, like, locally, especially, or if we're talking like some of the Facebook groups, or if somebody reaches out to me on YouTube, I'm never going to ask somebody for top dollar. That's the whole point. The reason why I like to get good deals out there in the wild when I was allowed to leave the house is because then I can pass it on to other people in the community. And it kind of, so like, even though you might not have been the person to find that deal, you're still like benefiting from it being found by somebody that kind of, one of the good guys. So, and that's like, and it's not just like a marketing campaign. Like I do love the idea of toy karma. Like I used to say it all the time before I bought the website and all the branding. Although toy karma website? Apparently, it just links to, it's collectingtoykarma.com, I think. But it just relinks back to my Instagram because we're not like, we don't have like an online store or anything.
But you mean you mean the Toy Collecting Karma Instagram?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a different one. It's not the Gregor Fabulous one. So
no, it is different.
Head on over there and follow him.
Check him out.
Be one of the 10 followers that I have now. Exclusive company.
I think like what a lot of people ask me is like, give me tips on how to grow a collection. And what I say now is buy lots, buy lots, buy lots. You will get a big collection soon. You will get to see what it's like having it. You will figure out, what do I really like? And you will start noticing differences about it, becoming a lot more knowledgeable in a really short amount of time. And what you do is you take what you like and you resell the other stuff, or you sell the other stuff. You are a reseller at that point. It's just, stick to the karma, be ethical about it. Don't be a dick selling.
Whoa. Ed. Ed, my daughter is watching. Why don't you slow your roll with the D word, sir?
Is that a bad word?
No, she's heard a lot worse. I'm just from me. Just wanted to make you feel bad.
Okay, it worked. It totally worked.
No, yeah. So from a vintage standpoint, exactly. I feel like that's a great approach. I wish, unfortunately, not everybody takes that approach. There's definitely people out there that I've encountered that seem to kind of like, we'll punch, grab, steal, whatever the phrase is, to trample people to get whatever they can get their hands on. There's not really a code of ethics there. And if I was a more vindictive person, you would hope that karma takes care of them in a way. But I don't really care, because I always feel like there's plenty out there for everybody. You really don't need to make enemies more than friends. And again, there's the benefit of not only meeting cool people like my present company, and those in the comments section. But yeah, then there's you have more eyes out there looking out for you. Like I've been lucky enough where I have repeat people that have found stuff that I'm into, or might not necessarily be in the toy collecting or game collecting business, but know that I am interested in that stuff, and we can find we have a nice relationship where we can always reach out to that person directly instead of having to like advertise out to the blind internet, like who wants this stuff. So
yeah,
I think it's definitely worth it. Like the experiences you get by meeting people and making friends, and it just goes. I think it goes a long way. Just it's kind of creating your network of fellow hunters and collectors.
Agreed.
I just got wrecked, didn't I?
You sure did.
Got wrecked.
Right there.
Yeah.
Batting 1,000 over here.
How's it on the leaderboard there? There. Yeah. Where are you keeping that thing?
Somebody should do that. Somebody, one of the more crafty commenters here should probably like crochet something. Well, one thing I wanted to touch on that somebody mentioned, and you referenced it already, is just going back to retail stores. How they, I thought it was Ed number 2. Why should they limit? They're just trying to make money. I do kind of understand where he's coming from, and again, like I don't know, like yes, we're all fully entrenched in the toy market, so we know what's coming down the line, what's supposedly hot, what has a lot of hype. But big business, like, are they really that wrapped up in that sort of thing? So I kind of understand, like, and not everything is solid gold, like 100%. Like I'm sure there's been plenty of hyped up toys and figures that have fallen flat. So I don't think it's in the best interest of the store to limit those quantities.
Yeah, so when I said that earlier, I was just saying that pertaining to all the exclusives, like the like Force Friday action figures that you can, they're only going to have 2 cases of them at Target. Maybe that kind of stuff limit, not everything, obviously, but like San Diego Comic-Con stuff, whatever else con that should definitely be limited, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, con exclusives, I can definitely see that because that the audience that they're bringing in,
Sensei,
hey, the audience that they're bringing in is there for that sort of thing. But I'm thinking more of like a generic retail store, like a Target and a Walmart, where that's not their bread and butter. They might, from their perspective, I'm sure they're not totally tone deaf to a Force Friday or something big like that.
I think they know what's going on. I think they do. Yeah.
But again, there is a little bit of and I'm not really sure which side of the aisle I fall on completely. I'm just I'm having a discussion here, people. Is I can see it from both perspectives because again, nothing's guaranteed, and I'm sure there's been and as some scalpers have known, those that have cleared out a shelf thinking they're going to make boku bucks, then all of a sudden the market disappears. That's kind of the same risk that a toy store would take. Obviously, they're not an individual; they're a corporation, so they're not going to close up shop because they didn't. They're restricting access to Star Wars toys. But I guess the risk is there, and they'd rather know that they can sell all of the product in one fell swoop, as opposed to maybe not delivering on the hype and having it just warm the shelves. So we need more corporate bailouts, is what I'm getting at. Let's see, we got some comments here. Empire, a few years ago at London Comic-Con, we could get the Black Series Hascon Captain Rex. I picked up a load on the first day when there was no limit, sold them, and covered my day and other con buys.
Yeah.
So,
that happens, yeah.
The businessman in me, smart. I mean, it paid for, we're not just talking about him paying for one toy. I mean, it paid for an entire trip, which, conventions are scary expensive. But I'm sure some people would have an issue with that approach.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I like that Hascon Captain Rex. I remember when those got sent out, going to my local toy show, and people charging, triple price, even from like eBay. I mean, like I said, that goes back to scalping in my opinion. But if you sell it for market price, I think you're fine as long as you don't, go freaking nuts. But
okay. He is self-aware. He did say that was his only time down the path of scalping. He's lived with the shame the rest of his life. Well, I'm glad that we could resurface it for you live on the internet for everyone.
I do think like scalping like does involve like an irrational pricing to the product, not like adding convention costs to the toy, because like if you get like the NECA TMNTs over here, you could buy them for 20, and when you buy them over at a stall, it's going to be 30 because they have other costs to cover, which is fair. But somebody who would be asking like 60 or 70 for it, that's just outrageous,
Yeah.
I think. Dark side of Greco.
It is outrageous, but again, if somebody's paying it, why wouldn't they shoot for the moon? I mean, it's not a scalping situation, but it's almost a little equatable to like what I try to do with some of the product that I throw on eBay, like on a vintage side of things. Like if it's something where the market isn't super defined, or there's a huge price disparity between what it can sell for, I definitely shoot for the moon sometimes on eBay, and only because it's worked out from time to time. But again, eBay for me, at least in a vintage sense, is kind of my last. I'd rather sell it locally, or in some of the Facebook groups, because I'm avoiding certain fees. I can give people better deals. Like that's kind of my approach there, and again, just kind of enhancing the community in a sense. eBay is pretty nameless. Like, I mean, I appreciate it for what it is. I guess I don't have that same sense of giving back as I would in other environments. So again, I do feel like it's different boats to be in. But as far as like shooting for the moon, I guess in some respect there's some similarities. If somebody is buying it for that, why wouldn't you? As long as you're okay with the stigma of being a dirty scalper.
I mean, that's kind of like setting the market price for that particular product, right? Gotcha, fabulous.
Really, I did good. I thought Grecking people was just in name only, but I got you good this time. The internet is going crazy. It's going viral, man.
Got the internet going nuts.
Oh, Cincy has got a question for us, because I think we're kind of done with the topic, right? I mean,
we can
keep discussing it.
We just want to make sure we have things to talk about. You guys can bring up whatever you want to bring up.
Yeah. So leave them down in the live chat. Anything you... Oh, there's a good looking Cincy.
Yeah, hello, sir. Mr. Nerd.
Hello,
you're nasty. So his question here is, for YouTubers that get figures sent to them free and early to review, do you trust their opinions on the figure? Well, there's more. Or do you value the opinions of YouTubers that you know are spending their own money on the figure?
Ooh.
Do you have any immediate thoughts on that, or do you want me to just jump into it?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I will say, honestly, I might not be the best person to speak on this topic, because I might not be that in tune with the newer figure market, and like I don't have like a certain amount of reviewers that I constantly watch on a basis. I will say, though, on the surface, I do feel like someone's opinion that that actually went out and paid their hard-earned money for something, their reputation has a little more credence. I don't think you have like the threat of it being influenced in any way. But ultimately, it basically comes down to character. I mean, you watch certain people's content because not only are you entertained by it to some degree, but you also find value in it. And I think part of that value would be that you can trust their opinions. So if that happens to be a YouTuber that does get their product for free, or at least like an advanced kind of review situation. I think that you can be okay with what they're selling you in a way, just based on your experience with their other videos. And then when you obviously, if you take their opinion for face value and buy it for yourself, and you're kind of in line with what the review they gave, then you build like a trust.
Yeah,
there.
definitely. Yeah. I kind of feel the same. Like if you watch a review channel constantly, I think you're going to trust their opinion more. But yeah, I mean, somebody going out and spending their hard-earned money and reviewing a figure, I would probably lean towards them a little bit more. And then also, again, it is knowing that reviewer and their channel and seeing how they think and if you can relate. So yeah, I mean, it could go both ways.
Ed, do you have anything to say about this topic?
Yeah, like I think like there's, you're watching it, so you develop your own opinion on it, even though he's like explaining this is the best product ever. You're watching the product, you're seeing what he does to it, how he shows all the points of articulation and stuff like that. In the end, whatever his opinion is on it, it might affect you, but some stuff he's pointing out might just not connect with you in the same way, and you end up making your own opinion. So I don't think it really matters whether he got it for free or he or she, bought it with their own money. I like all of the stuff that Pixel Dan does, although he's like excited about almost everything. Yeah. And I think I would be in the same conflict zone. When you get something for free, you kind of want to be positive about it. And the conflict that I'm referring to would then be, I got this thing for free and I don't like it. How am I going to make this video come across still positive? Because I don't like making videos that are like really negative or, how am I? I need to make a video on this because I got the product. How am I going to make this work? Those are probably going to be like the most weird videos you're going to make. I think so. Yeah. For me, like usually when I watch these reviews, I mostly just check them out on my cell phone and don't even listen to it. So I just watch the toy bin, see what it does, maybe check what the guy is saying. Yeah. The cool thing is, whenever Pixel Dan has it, he has the product like 2 weeks before it even comes out. So he got it, in order to review and to create a buzz, because his audience connects with that toy line, or the people sending it in, it connects with that. So like it's different for video game reviewers. I think the completionist, when he used to do like the Nintendo stuff, he would get like a month in advance, and he would get like the embargo rights. He can't show any of this, you can't let anybody know, but he needed to finish the game on the day that it comes out publicly, so he can give you a full review on it. Now it's possible to do a full review on a toy if you have like 4 hours, do a standard review. But when you want to do this for a game, like say for an RPG, you need like days to like really work everything out. Yeah. And in the end, it comes down to what do you like about it. Maybe the reviews help you out answering some questions you have for yourself. And I think you're going to lean to the reviewer that holds the same value or works out the same criteria as you do. So
exactly. Agreed.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying. Like, it's got to be tough as a viewer, like to get to that threshold of like a Pixel Dan where you are getting all this advanced, toys and other stuff that you can review. It's a symbiotic relationship, right? It's generating content for your channel, and obviously as a toy hunter, you're excited to see these things before the mass audience gets access to it. So you don't want to bite the hand that's feeding you, but on the second hand, you do like, if people find out you're a phony baloney, then you're gonna lose that audience no matter what. So I understand that's kind of a dilemma, right?
It's hard.
So like if if a corporate entity out there like came to their senses and realized what a treasure I am and how beloved I am by my fan base and wanted to sponsor me, I don't know, man. I might have to, send them a few smileys along the way, whether I believe in what they're selling or not. You guys get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, they'll get Greg if not. So
that's
fine.
Right.
You should have gotten the Unicron for free, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I went there.
Speaking of reselling, I did think about buying 2 with the thought of selling 1 down the line, but man, that's a big risk.
That's a spicy meatball. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that would have been a $1,200 investment.
Yeah. Imagine like some YouTuber, some really big YouTuber reviewing it and saying this is the worst toy ever. You could never get rid of that thing.
Oh yeah. Exactly. So
be done.
So anything that cuts my bottom line, don't trust those guys. Only go to the reviewers that line my pockets. I love it. We got some more questions to get to jump around. Let's see. I think there was one early on. I want to make sure I do my best to get to everybody's, just so we're not.
I see. Let's do it.
Here's one right here, very early on.
Ooh.
You guys
Let's go first.
Chime in on that.
I'll go first. My favorite comic hero would have to be Gambit from X-Men. Faux show. Yep. Just love him. I mean, I grew up Raging Cajun. And my family's from Louisiana, so it kind of works, Yeah.
I've been there.
Comic book wise for me, Spider-Man. Yeah. Classic, I know, but
classic.
Can't
go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, not to take Ed's answer, but Spider-Man's always kind of been my guy. I think I don't want to get too it's not philosophical, but I don't want to talk it up like I'm this big comic. He was, or at least he was. He was young. He was a teenage superhero. You can totally tie into the whole him being a high school student. I think that was relatable. At least when I got into Spider-Man, I was younger, but still, just school in general, kind of balancing those two lives. And I think everyone would love to have some kind of superhuman ability and apply it to their actual boring, mundane lives, in certain situations. So, and just he's a fun character. He's a funny character, super likable. And like I said, he's trying to get the girl. He's trying to get, the good grade, all that stuff that we're all doing in this rat race of life. A little less now that I'm married. I'm not really chasing skirts like I used to. Not that I ever really did. If only I could use my YouTube celebrity nowadays. My God. But
they'll be everywhere.
Everywhere.
The
Greco groupies. So I just think he's a really fun character, and he really has an eclectic collection of superheroes, villains, super villains. So yeah, man, Spider-Man's the everyman, and we've been blessed with some really killer movies, and some bad ones too, 3
toys, games, comics, all of it. Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Around here, let's see. Here's a video game one you can talk about. Didn't mean to do back-to-back TARF questions, but that's just how live streaming go.
Yeah. One video game with you to a deserted island. What game would it be? Oh man, 3 come to mind. It would be Breath of the Wild, GTA San Andreas, or Wario Land. I'd probably go for Wario Land. I love that game.
That's good. Mine would be this is because I've been playing it recent, but Animal Crossing. I freaking love that game. Been hooked. Lots to do on it. My answer right now would be Animal Crossing, the Island Edition. Yes.
So I don't know if this is a cop-out answer, but I'm on a deserted island, right? I'm assuming there's nobody else around me. to talk to. So I feel like I would want like an online game, so I could be like still connected. But wait, would I have internet on a deserted island? But I mean, I wouldn't have electricity either. I
He's
mean, how
gonna
do you?
say Fortnite, isn't he?
No, I've never. I've actually no, that's not true. I've turned on Fortnite, but Fortnite and any of those like I know it's not a first person shooter, but any of those type of battle royale games, not really my I suck at them. I like playing them. Like I used to play like Halo a lot, like multiplayer, but man, I'm bad. And it's less fun when you're bringing your squad down and they let you know about it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's
I mean, if you're
not
playing
really,
with friends and they're just like, "Oh, that's Greco," we take the good with the bad.
it's not
But if you're
really
playing with
player
like,
fabulous.
yeah, if you're playing with randos, they can make it not so fun. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I feel like if I could cheat, I would want something online multiplayer. I've been playing Fantasy Star Online 2 recently,
Okay.
which is I've mentioned it before. It's it's an MMORPG that I've been like waiting for literally years for it to come out. I wouldn't say it's like the best thing I've ever played by any means, but if I want something that has longevity and gives me access to people beyond my island with lots of replay value, I think that's what I would go with. You guys should sign up. It's free, but it's on Xbox One. Oh, Craig, you have an Xbox One.
I do.
Yeah. Ed, I don't know. You don't look like an Xbox guy to me.
He's like, "What's Xbox?
Yeah.
What is Xbox?
What's that?"
All right, let's see. Just going down the line. Oh, here's Vegeta. What are you guys currently hunting for? Anything.
Sanity.
A cure.
Mad balls and boglins. Mainly.
So obviously we're not really venturing out. So I know you guys are doing a lot of online searching. So maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Or we can move on.
Like,
You don't have to.
I've been trying to do a video, and then whenever I want to do one, I just start looking on the internet, and then 2 hours pass by, and I'm like, oh, I didn't tape anything.
I didn't do anything.
Or I've just been watching terrible people trying to sell stuff for not affordable prices. So but I'm looking. I just keep on doing the same thing I do all the time, checking for boglins and mad balls, and like the obscure toy lines. Nobody is really searching for too much to avoid any bidding wars or anything like that. So that's my answer. What am I looking for?
Yeah, it's been tough. Like again, my whole thing is that I try to find good deals, and that's why I don't focus on one thing, because then that's when I think you kind of make poor decisions and you kind of overreach. Although if you were gonna do that during like this pandemic, I feel like it's totally understandable. Like people are just to get some taste of that thrill back. I think people are willing to kind of go beyond their normal limits to get something out of it. But I'm still trying to be disciplined about it. But it's tough because I don't really do eBay hunting. And again, eBay it's not impossible, obviously, like we all can attest to that, but it's not the first place you go to get screaming deals. And I still look locally, but I feel like we'd have to take a ton of precautions if I were really to try to venture out and actually snag something locally.
I just got this guy in the mail. Finally got my Mountie Moose. Mountie Moose.
I don't have that one.
Did it smell like Lysol? Y'all.
I don't know what that smells like. It's plastic. I don't know.
Moose and maple syrup.
I got a moose.
I was going to put this up there. Reselling Unicron, proof that Greco is pure evil. Again, it did not happen, so don't blame me for something that I haven't done. But I wanted to. If Unicron wasn't going to take more than a year to produce, I would do it. But we'll see if I'll make a follow-up, or I'll address it when it actually happens, because I'm curious to see what the resale market is going to be like. Stud fabulous.
Yeah.
Justin's late again. Come on, Justin.
Justin.
You gotta be. Ed, you're getting some props for your Boglins t-shirt.
Yeah, it's awesome. So basically Tim Clark, he made Boglins in the 90s and 80s, and he still makes new ones. So you can find him on Instagram. He has shirts like this. He makes new Boglins, limited run Boglins. Right,
check this out. I have one.
Yeah, you have like the little thingy that came in the case.
Handmade.
Yeah. So he still does stuff like that. Whenever you're going to hashtag Boglins on Instagram, he's probably going to comment on your photo. So
always
try it out. He's like, find all new Boglins at timclark.com. So yeah. Nice shirts, nice new Boglins. Had him ship some over from the USA, and they're awesome. So definitely, I would recommend it. And I paid for it myself. So you can value my opinion on it, I guess.
So I know we're running low on time, especially if we're trying to keep these live shows to an hour. So I'm just going to throw out a bunch of questions out there that have been posted.
We'll try to do short answers, maybe.
Yeah, we can do like a rapid fire if you want to just get through it real quick. Good. All right, here we go. Rapid fire. Speed round. No whammy. Has anyone been following the crossover comic with Power Rangers and TMNT? No for me. You guys?
Nope.
No, sorry.
Sorry. But let us know if we're missing out.
Yeah.
Since you nerd, I feel like we've sort of touched on this in some other shows, but favorite single toy as a child, not toy line, so that might be the difference there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't have anything that jumps to mind. Yeah. So if you guys...
Stinkor from Motu. Like when I got that figure and smelt them, I was like, holy crap. So I was obsessed with that figure for a long time.
I like really took towards my Moto from Biker Mice, the guy on like the purple bike.
Okay.
I don't know. I liked him a lot. I didn't know what Biker Mice was, so he kind of like just interacted with the turtles in my fantasy. But that guy, had him along on lots of journeys.
I have a bad memory, and I blame it on my activities when I was in high school. Never said I was a role model. So I feel like I'd be fabricating something. Very cool, Ed. Yes, everyone, focus on Ed. Don't focus on the old man that's losing his mind over here. So I don't want to like make something up. I mean, I keep mentioning laser tag as being like something I attribute a lot of fun memories to, because I had it with I played it with my friends, and I used to do it in a bunch of different venues, both at home with the at-home sets, and I would buy like the more advanced ones. And then not necessarily a toy, but Pokemon again was huge for the longest time for me, and that again I attribute it to because friends would literally ride over to me, meet up, trade, battle, collect the cards, like that whole thing. So I know it's not necessarily a toy per se, but at least like something that I vividly remember from childhood that was awesome. I can definitely attest to that. All right, rapid fire. Do you accept gifts from fans, or do you get hesitant about it if it's expensive? So for me, I haven't gotten anything in a while. So if you guys want to send me things so I can better answer that question, feel free. I feel like it's only gotten awkward when it wasn't necessarily a gift from fans, but somebody gave me the opportunity to buy their collection. Because again, you want to give them like a fair deal, but you also want to put on your haggler hat and get a good deal for yourself too. So that I've been in situations like that where I've made offers, and you don't want to just like sour your relationship with somebody and have them think you're something you're not. So that gets a little awkward sometimes for me. How about you guys?
I've had people ask, like, hey, I want to send you something, and I never got around to like giving out my address or anything. This past December, I was going to make a PO box, and that never happened. So until I get that, I mean, I'm kind of weird about it. I mean, it's stuff. It's awesome stuff, but I don't know. It feels kind of weird sometimes.
All right. So I know we're pretty much at time. I think what I'm going to do is, just to get everybody their day in the sun, I'm going to read off the rest of the questions. You guys can choose which one you want to answer. All right, sound good?
Let's do it.
All right. So allow me to finish before answering. So Spruce, without having real hunting, what are you guys looking to do aside from this too to help your channels? I have a few ideas myself, but it's hard. Then we have, let's see here, Ed, number 2. I'm curious to know, how are you guys not curious enough to count all your toys to see how much you have?
I don't want to know. I'm hoarding.
Rolf, who I know who you are. Do you guys like James Bond? And if so, what is your favorite movie?
I do.
Tony,
Living Daylights is my favorite.
Tony, what's the name of your island? Good Guy Nero, seeing how we're asking questions, what is a game toy you know is out of reach, but you would willingly give an arm and a leg for if the chance presented itself? Let's see, Vegeta, toy or game that's always in the back of your mind that would be like, yes, I have finally found it.
That's kind of like the same question, though. Like,
yeah, I'm just trying to give people shout outs, basically. At what point does it become hoarding and not collecting? Did you ever get mad at a flea market or seen some stuff like a fight or something?
No. Not really.
Did you read TMNT Batman crossovers or watch the movie?
The movie, yes.
Sup, fellas? That's a tough one.
Sup?
Oh, Ed didn't get to answer. Ed, did I cut you off?
Yeah, but what was it about again? It was about when you receive gifts. For me, it's quite different actually, because 60% of my viewers are in the USA and I live in Europe. So the first thing whenever somebody says like, I want to send you something, I'm like, I'm in Europe. it's gonna cost a lot. And it does cost a lot. It's like $40 or something. So on most things people want to like send you, it will be like, it's like the item isn't even worth that.
Right.
So a couple months ago, Murphy Bros Collectibles, he sent out something I really wanted to get. So when he said like you can have this cave turtle in the box, I was like, dude, that's awesome. Let me know if you want me to pay for the shipping. And he was like, no, man, I got you covered. I don't know how much he paid for it, but I think it was something like $24, which is pretty good. Arrived awesome, awesome condition and everything. And like, I'm happy. That's something I want. I know it's never going to leave my collection. One of the other things I always try to do is like kind of figure out, what do you want to send me? Because if I already have it, it's really weird. What do I do with it? Obviously I'm going to compare it to the one I have and keep the best condition one. But what if it's not yours? If it's not an upgrade, it's a dilemma, honestly. Another thing, I was like hunting online, feeling the waters, and I placed a bid on a Horde Trooper, and this guy mails me back, and he's like, "You make way better videos than you do bidding."
That's awesome.
I was like, thanks for watching my videos.
Yeah.
I know I started low, but what are you willing to do on it? And it's weird, but I like connecting with people, and I think like in 8 out of 10 cases, when somebody wants to send me something, it falls true, because I'm like, it's going to cost a lot of money. I appreciate you watching me. If we ever get to meet, in America, or if you live in Europe and you come over to a convention, bring it over. We'll hang out. We can talk and stuff like that. So, it's cool, because people have made like fan art and stuff. So that's awesome.
Stop trying to make Europe happen. Okay. I'm staying here. I will never cross the pond to meet you. Never.
Why not?
It's just, I'm just not that into you.
I'll pay for shipping.
Craig, did any of those questions resonate with you that you want to sound off on before we sign off?
I love you. I don't remember all the questions.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't the best approach. Rookie mistake, rookie host here. Hopefully I'll get a second chance. But we should probably do it on somebody's channel who's more popular.
Why? No. I mean, we can like alternate each weekend. I guess next weekend we're gonna try maybe getting a guest on, and
yeah, let's do that.
It's gonna be on my channel next. So
who are we gonna get?
What?
Who are we gonna get? Who's gonna pop on?
I thought we were gonna try getting Cincy.
Cincy, do you want to do it?
If he's still watching, I don't know.
I'll ask him.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Jeffrey Lane's gonna pay for shipping.
That's right.
Awesome.
Jeffrey Lane.
No.
All right, so yeah, I mean we're 5 minutes over our allotted time here. The winds are storming here in Massachusetts, not Washington, where Ed thought I lived.
I thought Boston was in Washington or something. I don't know.
No. I thought you were joking.
It's really? The center. It's the center of your universe because that's where I live, but it's not the capital of the United States. No.
Since he's
down, Greco, everybody needs to like everything needs to be close to that. So
I'm like the sun.
Maybe we should like close off with what we have going on for next week as well. Each individual channel. Hell yeah, Cincy is on board. So let's do it next week, Saturday or Sunday. We'll do that. Awesome.
Whether you guys like it or not, this train is going to keep on rolling till we flatten the curve.
That's right.
Yeah. So
what do you have going on?
What are you guys doing on your channels? Anything? Me, it's hit or miss. I'm not making any promises. I have tons of footage I can roll into a video, but I just got to get motivated. So.
I'm currently filming What Am I Doing with My Collection Part 2, and then I should have a massive eBay haul, like the biggest one I've ever gotten, and it's going to be crazy, so I can't wait for that.
Oh man, I want to see that eBay haul being unpacked because I saw a picture and it's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah. What do I have going on? I uploaded my Toxic Crusaders collection today, and I'm probably going to do another, edited video on Thursday, which will probably be a top 10 or a live hunt, which I'm going to resurrect from the archives. On Wednesday, I'm doing a live stream together with Retro Rick. We're just going to do a catch up on my channel and do some Q&A stuff, and then on Saturday or Sunday we're gonna have a new Live in the Attic podcast, live stream, Q&A, whatever you want to call it, with Cincy because he just confirmed. So awesome. So yeah,
and again, if I get up off of it, it's just my standards are too damn high. That's the problem. Although maybe my products aren't always in tune with that. But I think what I want to do is release a flea market video because I think we're all hurting for a flea market experience. So I'm gonna try really hard.
Dig back in the files, man. You can do it.
Oh, I got plenty, baby. All right, so
do it.
We're over time. Just want to say thank you to everyone for watching. It's fun to play host and pretend that people actually care what we have to say. It's this is more just a hangout sesh for me and the guys. So the fact that you guys get some enjoyment, or at least it's a time killer for you, is like a super awesome. So I just want to thank my co-host with me on this week's show, Ed from Ed's Retro Geek Out, and Craig Nark from Not Another Retro Channel. Hopefully you guys can make it back again next time.
Yeah. All
right. So, yeah. Stay classy, internet. Ending broadcast.